A question, just because, you're a senator, you have to be involved in decision making. Not that you're an expert on this illness, very few people are, since we never heard of it before. I'm just trying to figure out the logic of some of this. We shut down significant parts of the economy. By the way, the president hasn't shut it down. Governors do, mayors do. They are the decision makers and so forth. And then, two questions to you. Number one, then at some point we're going to open it up. If everybody, or pretty much, except for so-called essential human beings, are staying home, they don't get the virus, they don't become immune to the virus, and then at some given date, slowly or quickly, people are allowed to socialize again and they go public again. I don't quite understand how we're going to prevent the virus from not kicking in again when we have people who've never had the virus in touch with people who have had the virus. And therefore, it seems to me, we're going to be going through something like this again, potentially. Where am I wrong on that? I'm just trying to think this through.
No, Mark, that's a real risk to have a resurgence of the virus. Hong Kong and Singapore were some of the world leaders in getting it under control. Now, of course, those are more like cities than a continental nation like ours, but they've unfortunately had a second wave of the virus hit. So when we do get the economy up and moving again, when we get people back on our feet, it's going to be after we have protected our hospitals and our healthcare system so we don't have the kind of scenes you see in Italy all around the country of people dying from overwhelmed hospitals, not just from coronavirus, but heart attacks or strokes or the other reasons people go to the hospital and need intensive care. There needs to be widespread and rapid testing, almost like, say, a home pregnancy test, so people know if they have the virus. Antibody testing will be an important part as well, so people know if they have had the virus, because right now Dr. Fauci has said that the best working assumption is that people will be immune from this virus, at least this strain, once they have had it. That will all have to be integrated into the workplace. Workplaces will have to make sure that they're screening their employees, they're taking temperature as they do in South Korean workplaces today, and that we have active and aggressive measures to quarantine individuals with the virus and then trace the contacts they've had in recent times. Once we have had the time to build up those kind of capabilities, those kinds of skills at the state and local level, what you see in South Korea, then we can begin to get the economy back on its feet and get people back to working, and we can move away from where we are now with population-based measures where we essentially tell everyone it's best to stay home if you can and move into individual case-based measures. That'll be the kind of standard working model until we have effective therapeutic drugs that can suppress the symptoms of the virus, and then ultimately a vaccine that can help us control its outbreak in the future.
I have a second